Good morning, Cincinnati Bengals. How are you guys, my friend? How is the fam? How is Dynasty players? How is everybody today here on this Saturday on June 22nd? We are talking Bengals today. How's this offense going to be as what we expected? What kind of rookies they brought in? What new players they brought in from free agency? And how's this going to impact the team? And how is this going to actually come forth the future here in Cincinnati? Are we going to see what we expected in the last what we expected 2 years ago? Hopefully, no injuries impact their playoffs this year or anything like that. I expect them to go that far, but if not, then we'll see. Let's talk Cincinnati. All right, Cincinnati. We are talking that on Dynasty Pylon today. My name is Martin. We are going to essentially break down what has happened in the last couple of years. I mean, let's think this overview. Like the Bengals. Last year, we kind of expected them to be finalists. I mean, 2 years ago, they had the incident with the Bills, and we all know what happened during that game. So they kind of postponed it, and then they eventually they didn't go further than that after that game. So then the following year, we're like, all right, well, they're probably going to do just as good. They're probably going to go further deep into the playoffs and maybe do just as good, right? Hopefully they'll make the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, Joe Burrow had that lingering injury and from training camp, so it was kind of early, and it was kind of like a 10-game injury thing that was just kind of lingering the entire time. So it wasn't what the Bengals expected. Injuries just kind of happen. So we'll talk about that, how he's doing in training camp as he did last week. But overall, the Cincinnati Bengals went 9-8, which is crazy because 9-8 is really good. That's barely enough to get in, right? But when you're in a division where they're all winners, it's so hard. Believe it, they were 9-8 and they were fourth in division. That's crazy. It's just wild. That division is insane. What's up, Rasta? How are you, man? Welcome in Saturday morning. Talking Cincinnati. So, dude, 9-8 going into the being fourth in your division is just wild to me. Like that's kind of like unheard of, right? So fourth in division at 9-8. So they didn't make the playoffs. So it's whatever, right? So Cincinnati, they traded away Joe Mixon for basically a pack of Skittles. They just got a 7th round pick. That's it. That's all it took. That's all it took. Either they don't believe in him, they just don't want to get rid of him. They don't want to pay for him. I know money's going to be an issue here. Obviously, let's T. Higgins. T. Higgins was almost on his way out, but they franchise tagged him. He wanted, and then after they franchise tagged him, he basically requested a trade. So it's like, okay, well, what's going on? What are these mixed feelings? What's going on? Like, are they? But they do expect for a long-term extension. But I don't know how that's going to work out. Like me, I don't know how that's going to work out with Jamar Chase. Like if you ask me between the two, I'm going to take Jamar Chase. So I it's going to be interesting. Joe Burrow is obviously locked up for next handful of years, but that's going to be interesting. Like if you ask me, between T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, Jamar Chase is the guy. I mean, not only they went to college together, but they have better chemistry. T. Higgins is good. Don't get me wrong. I love T. Higgins. T. Higgins can go somewhere else, and he could possibly be the tied with the number 1 or the number 1 there. That's how good he is. But he's just been outshined by like other receivers there that it's just he's never had the shot. So we'll see what happens with T. Higgins in the future. But as for the Bengals, they kind of needed an offensive tackle, and it is what it is. So that's exactly kind of what happened. They went into the draft. They needed an offensive tackle, and that's what they got. So let's talk about these rookies. after we talk about free agencies that they brought in. Free agents, they brought in Mike Gesicki, which is good. They needed a tight end. They just lost Hayden Hurst, obviously. And Hayden Hurst, good luck to him. But Mike Gesicki should do really well here. We know he's talented. He was on Miami for many years. He was good. He was one of the high prospect draft picks that he came in. So Miami had him for a while, but I mean his time there is done. So now he's in Cincinnati. So let's see what he does in Cincinnati. Tied with a great offensive line, tied with a great quarterback. I think Mike Gesicki might be one of those low key sleepers that people are probably going to forget about him. We just kind of forgot about him. So I wouldn't sleep too much on Mike Gesicki, but I think he could be a nice grab. Middle round. If, in a startup dynasty, I wouldn't mind grabbing him middle rounds, maybe something like that. So, and I think you'll be happy with him. I think he's going to be a valuable asset this year. So we'll see how he impacts this year. Obviously, with the loss of Joe Mixon, they had to bring someone in, right? They had to bring someone in. They brought in Zach Moss. Essentially, he's going to be the number one running back. We've seen him be the number one running back for the Colts. He did fairly exceptional, but like he's just one of those guys. He's a good filler for the year. I don't expect him to be there for multiple years and being the lead back. I think essentially like next year they're probably going to bring in somebody else and bring back another veteran or something. It just can't be Zach Moss. But for this year in particular, Zach Moss is going to be the guy. And who knows? They could still trade for somebody. That Zach Moss can get it done. I don't think that's going to happen. We'll see what happens. I mean, they still got Brown back there as well, so we'll see. Another key essential they brought back after just being 1 year gone, Von Bell. So welcome back. Your place was basically never really filled. I mean, it was just kind of a lingering mess there. So Geno Stone obviously was back there. Jordan Battle obviously was back there, and Dax Hill. So Von Bell's going to come back. Hey, listen, I'm going to take my job back. Here you go. So welcome back, Von Bell. He served 1 year in Carolina. So yeah, let's welcome him back. All right. So rookies. Let's talk about these rookies and what they did and how the draft went. I think it went very well. They didn't go after like any flashy player, but they did the smart thing of what they need to do, and I love it. Sometimes some years aren't crazy like awesome that you get the highest guy. Like you just got to go for the smartest things that's best for your team. Like they have the weapons already. They just need to fill these spots in to make it better. Amaris Mims out of Georgia. Dude, if you don't know who this guy is, you will eventually. The guy is 6'8". He's a freaking monster. And he's 340 pounds. Coming out of Georgia, 6'8" as a tackle, just like amazing. It's got good weight, good arm length. I think it was like 36.5 inches or something like from my wingspan. So, yeah. So, and then hands, he's got like basically freaking baseball mittens, man. They're like 11.5 inches. Like this guy's just laying outfielders' baseball mittens on your chest and pushing you back. Like, I'm excited for this line. This line, if they click, Joe Burrow's going to have so much time. Just like this offense is going to be nice. So, and then, so his arm length was like 36.5, and then his wingspan basically 86. So, like, the dude, the guy's going to be he's going to swallow up the ends, linebackers, anybody else who rushes. So, I'm excited for what his future career is. I think he's going to be there for a while. So yeah, 6'8", 340 out of Georgia, Amaris Mims. So I like what he brings to that line. I think it's going to be amazing. And then second pick, Chris Jenkins. I really like this guy. Low key, I think he's going to be very good. I know there's other defensive linemen that everybody looked at, like Latu, Jared Verse, Newton, like everyone looked at Brian Murphy. Like I get it, but this guy, he's no Chop Robinson or anything or Darius Robinson, but he actually brings a pretty good, like decent height to him. And like he's not bad. He's also like a monster. He's 300 pounds and he's quick for being 6'3", 300. So I mean, I'm interested in what he's gonna do, but I think for this line, I think that was probably the best move for what they did. Again, no running back, no receiver, first round. They just had to do what they had to do. I mean, behind this guy, Chris Jenkins is probably gonna come in and fill in for BJ Hill and freaking what's it, Sheldon Rankin. So I think it's gonna be very good. This line's going to be pretty good. Sam Hubbard and Trey Hendrickson are obviously really good DNs, and we've seen them for a while. So um, I like what they did here for the first and second picks. The third pick they got Jermaine Burton, receiver out of Alabama. McKinley Jackson had another defensive tackle at Texas A&M. Eric All, tight end out of Iowa. Josh Newton, corner back, so DB out of TCU. Tanner McLaughlin out of Arizona, tight end. Cedric Johnson, edge out of Mississippi. Dayon Anthony as a safety out of Mississippi, and Miles Cole, a defense out of Texas Tech. Bunch of filler pieces, bunch of pieces that they needed. Depth chart needed it. It's going to be a team that's very full of positions that seem to possibly be hurting them right now. They went in with a smart draft selection, and they brought in the pieces that they needed to fill. I'm excited for what they do. This offense should be very good. This defense with all these new added pieces, it's a young defense. So we'll talk about the offense right now and see how well they do. Let me just bring up that page real quick, but it's ran. So offensive coordinator Dan Pitcher and defense girl Lunan Aruro, I can never say his name, and Zach Taylor as obviously the head coach. So let me bring in there. There you are. All right. Okay. So if you're on Spotify, don't worry. I'm just gonna basically list off the main positions, key positions on how big this depth chart is. So obviously, at the helm with Joe Burrow. So Joe Burrow took it real easy. It's kind of like that. It's in the back of his mind, like I don't want to go too hard in practice, especially when it's just mandatory OTAs. I don't want to like strain anything and then have another repeat of what happened last year. So he's taking it easy. So we saw a lot of Jake Browning out there running with the ones sometimes. So Joe Burrow barely did much, but I mean that's kind of like the smart thing to do. You don't want to have your main starting quarterback and your future basically re-injure something that we could have just waited on later. He has another 3 weeks, and they'll probably go a little bit harder then. And I think by the time the opening season's up, he'll be fine. So Jake Browning, obviously the backup to Joe Burrow. Running backs we have is Zach Moss, Chase Brown, and Trayvon Williams, and also Chris Evans. Yes, Chris Evans, Captain America. We make that joke here, but not a bad pass catching group. It's going to be very interesting. Zach Moss is probably going to be the main bruiser, which is kind of crazy to say because he's been under bigger backs. So he's going to probably be the biggest one here, I think. So Zach Moss. But either way, Zach Moss is going to be utilized very well. If you have him in Dynasty, good luck. Good for you. I mean, he probably wasn't expected to be an RB1 ever when you first got him or when you traded for him or got him off waivers. If you kept him around, good for you, because now you have yourself a running back one. For this season, and hopefully it doesn't get injured. I mean, this guy hasn't completed a whole season that I could remember. He'll probably be gone for like 4 weeks and then come back. Hopefully he just doesn't disappear. But in that case being, we'll see what happens. But Zach Moss, honestly, and right now, if you're that dynasty manager, I strongly suggest selling him. Just sell him. I think you could probably get a second for him because of the need of running back. The need at running back this year is scarce. I think you could get away with the second before the season starts, especially if he pops off week 1 or 2. And you're like, look, I know, and it's so hard to sell those guys when they pop off like that. It's like, okay, well, this could be my points for the rest of the season. But a second is hard to like that. Like if you could get a second out of this guy, which I think you can. I don't think anyone's paying a first for him, but I think you could probably sell him for a second. And for a second, you could probably get next year's decent good running back ish. So I think next year's running backs are a lot better than this year's rookie class. So give it a shot. If you can sell him for a second, good. Maybe a high end third, like a 301, 302, 303, but I don't know if I'll go anywhere past the 306. I'll go the first 5 picks of the 305s, but determining on how your league is and who's going to end up being there is going to be the difficult part. But I do believe that Zach Moss is going to be utilized if they don't bring anybody in through a trade or if he doesn't get hurt. So try selling him. As for buyers, try and swindle him to a third. Seller's second, buyer's third. It's just he's going to be there for the year. I don't know if he's going to be there for like the main role. I don't know if he goes anywhere else and has this opportunity again. This is going to be Zach Moss's year. So even if you don't want to sell him, keep him around and then be like, you know what, I'm just going to use him for this year. Then that's okay too, because he's going to be productive behind this incredible line. This line is pretty good, and it's funny to say that because 2-3 years ago we were saying this line is bad. They got Mike Gesicki, Trent Brown, Alex Kappa, Ted Karras, Cordell Lawson, and freaking Orlando Brown, all there. Just and 3 of these guys are 6'8". They're massive. So I think it's going to be a good offensive run with these receivers. They're going to have they're giving Joe Burrow enough time to throw to Jamar Chase, obviously T. Higgins, Trenton Irwin, Jermaine Burton. These guys are going to have time to actually run their routes either if they can success on their run and could have a good route tree and get open. I have high hopes for this team. I really do. I think they're going to be pretty good. So good addition with Mike Gesicki there. So I'm excited. Let's see what happens. For T. Higgins, if you're an owner, maybe sell him. Maybe not. He's kind of be one of those calls. Like for me, I would keep him. Because even if they don't extend him, right? They don't extend him for another year or 2 or whatever the hell they want to do for him. He's going to go somewhere else. He's still going to be productive. He's such a good receiver. And he's so young. You can keep him. You can trade him for something high, or you can keep him. But I'm not taking anything under a third for him. If I'm the owner, I'm not taking anything under a third. No way. I'm selling him for a second. And that's only because he's still young. He's still valuable. He's still good. No matter where he goes, he's going to be very productive. You're not selling him under anything under a second. And that's probably his price too. A second and something. A second and something. And then when I say something, I mean like a second and probably a rookie prospect who's probably just not as high in the top 5, but he could be. Or a second and an additional pick, like a cherry on top. So think about it, but yeah, that's T. Higgins for you. All right, let's move on to the defense. What's up, Tua? Morning. How are you? Talking Bengals today. So let's move on to the defense. Obviously, I said Sam Hubbard, Trey Hendrickson, beasts, and they work very well together. They smash the line. They could be quarterbacks' nightmare sometimes. So Chris Jenkins is going to come in for addition to BJ Hill and Shannon Rankings. I like it. I think Duke Chris Jenkins actually makes himself his way into the line as a starting, role. Miles Murphy this year could actually be in the mix a lot more this year as well. I know Sam Hubbard and Trey Hendrickson are kind of getting up there in age, so not so much Hubbard, but Hendrickson. So I think Miles Murphy might actually make a bigger impact this year. So we'll see how that goes. Jermaine Pratt, look, I absolutely love this guy. I know Logan Wilson's better and more productive and everything, but Jermaine Pratt can hold his own and do just as good as Logan Wilson. Right now, Logan Wilson is probably in IDP leagues, probably a first rounder or a second rounder. You can't get him. But Jermaine Pratt, you probably can. And as a matter of fact, he might be in waivers depending on your league size and how many linebackers you actually start. But for Jermaine Pratt, I think if you get him, he's a value. He's always productive. He's never failed. I always try and get him every year when he's on waivers. First, he ends up on waivers in our league, so I usually try and get him. If I can't get anybody else, he's usually a good guy to fall on. He's like the linebacker of the Kyle Duggars. If that makes sense. He's always there, available, and he's always productive. And you can't get mad. Just the way it is. Jermaine Pratt, I highly suggest to get him. So it's a good linebacker core for those two. And I don't have any issues with them. I like him. As for the DBs, Cam Taylor-Britt, Von Bell's back, Geno Stone, DJ Turner, and Mike Hilton. It's going to be good. I like it. Mike Hilton's always been very good, even when he was with Pittsburgh. He's taken some to the house. He can read very well, and he has a corner. That's amazing. And people still throw his way. I don't understand. Usually it would have been like Hilton Island by now, right? Like they wouldn't throw his way, but they still throw his way. And he's still productive. I don't understand how quarterbacks don't understand how good Mike Hilton is. He's very underrated. So for these guys as DBs and IDP leagues, I'm Von Bell. Good luck getting him. But Mike Hilton, you might be able to get maybe for depending on like for us, we have 7-round picks, so probably a mid-tier type round. So if you do 4 rounds, probably a early third, late third. But again, DBs are so hard to come by, and also DBs are so hard to judge. Sometimes they can have a bad year or a really good year. But again, Dax Hill last year when the injuries occurred, Dax Hill came in and he did really good. He did really good. And then he kind of died towards the end of the season, which I don't understand what happened. I think they just finally realized, okay, just don't throw the middle of the freaking field because Dax Hill's there. So these DBs are good. I think this defense is going to be very good. I think overall the Bengals are going to be very good. Again, last year they came in 4th at 9-8. I don't understand it either. It's this division is a tough one. It's a very tough one, considering of who the other teams are. Ravens, Steelers. Good luck. You know what I mean? So, what's up, Anthony? Logan Wilson's so under. I know, and that's what I'm saying. He's one of the best. He's one of the best. He's very productive, very good. I absolutely love him, and he's probably a 1st-round pick in my eyes in IDP leagues. Like you can't acquire him. You can't acquire him. So yeah, that's offense. That's defense. Again, it's looking very good. I like what they're doing. I like what they're bringing in. I know for the last couple of seasons, they're like, oh, the line's atrocious, but they've been working on it. Now they lost Joe Mixon. I understand that, but Zach Moss can't hold his own. Just let's see. Hope that he just stays injured or not injured, and he kind of comes in and does his thing. Okay, let's talk about the schedule. There it is. Week 1. Starting off with the New England Patriots, then going to Kansas City, then coming back home for Monday Night Football. That's not right. That's not right. No, yeah, it is. Okay, that's right. That's like a whole 8 days. Okay, all right, cool. I'm like, wait. I read that wrong. I'm like, wait a minute. They have a game today and a game tomorrow. Why is that even legal? So it's like 8 days. It's 8 days. So Sunday, September 15th, and then September 23rd. So it's like 8 days. So home, away. So you got New England, week 1, week 2. They got Kansas City Chiefs. Then they got week 3 with the Commanders on Monday night. And then week 4, they got the Panthers. Week 5 is the interesting one. They have the Ravens. Now, we all know this division. This division is one of my favorite ones to watch right now. I think I'm really going to pay attention to this division. They are just all 4 of them are good. The Browns, the Steelers, the Ravens, the Bengals, all of them. And they're all getting better together. I think that they're just going to split all the way through. and I'll just say they win their home games because that's the way this division ran. They took fourth at 9-8. I don't like it. That just still baffles me. Like, they took 9-8 and they were fourth in division. Do you know how many teams would have been at 9-8 and sneak into the playoffs? Like, that's crazy to me. Tua's coming in with I think I give them 9. Okay, we'll see. That's what they did last year. So we'll see. All right. So I think they win with the Patriots. I think they win with week 3 Commanders. I think they win with week 4 Panthers. And I think they win the week 5 Ravens. Yes. Week 5 Ravens. Just because I think if we know that the Yeti is still not activated because it's still early in the season, I think he'll probably be activated later. That's just what Derrick Henry does. He carries later when it's cold. It's just what he does. And this is why he's nicknamed the Yeti. So I think they win that one. So I think they get 4-1. I think they probably lose to the Chiefs. So then they travel to week 6, New York Giants. I think they beat them. I think they take 2 losses here. They lose to the Giants. They lose to the Browns. And they travel back home and play the Eagles. That one's going to be interesting. I'm unsure about that one, but right now I think I'm going to give it to them. I think I'm going to give it to them for that 5th win. Oh wait, 6th win. Sorry, 6th win. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think they'll beat them there. I think they'll sneak off some way somehow. The Eagles are very interesting and weird to me sometimes. And then then we got week 9, Raiders. I think that's another win right there. So we have 7 right there within the first 9 weeks. Right? Patriots, Washington, Panthers, week 5 Ravens, New York Giants, Eagles, and the Raiders. They're at 7 in the first 9 weeks, 7-2. Then you take your 3rd loss there at the Ravens, so you travel to it's a Thursday night game. So short week. And not only you're going to Baltimore, so maybe Baltimore doesn't have much of a short week. Maybe they have like an easier schedule and they have more time to rest. So we'll see what happens there. And I think you lose that Thursday night game. Then you go to the Chargers, and I think the Chargers, that could be your 8th win right there. You got a nice bye week here at the 12th. I like that. I like the week 12 bye week. It's looking very nice there. Kind of mid-tier season, like, you get that rest there. So where are we at? 7 right now? 8. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Steelers, home game. Again, I'm gonna split with all these divisional wins. I'm gonna say 9. That's gonna be 9 games right there. 9. And for some reason, I think you lose to the Dallas Cowboys that game on Monday night. The following week, you get another primetime game. So December 9th, I have a feeling you just lose that game. I don't know why. You just lose that game. I think Dallas just pull it off on Monday night, and then you get a win here with Tennessee, and then you get another win here with Week 16 Browns. Again, split with everyone in division. That's 11 for me. Broncos 12, and then you lose with the last week of the Steelers. I have 12. Guys, you've been saying in chat, Tua says 9, Anthony says 9 or 10. So we'll give it 9.5. All right, so I'm going to go 12. These guys say 9 to 9.5. So let's figure this out between us 3. If anybody else is watching, look, if anybody else is watching, you want to give your record and we'll add it to our chart here, and we'll see how we did towards the end of the year. So we have a 9, 9.5, and my 12. Oops. Yeah. That's 10 games. Average between us 3, that's 10 games. Remember, Cowboys not good in December? I know, but that's like the early December. It's Monday night. I'm gonna still give it to them. I'm gonna still give it to them. Otherwise, that's like 13, man. I don't know. Too says, I see them getting swept by Baltimore and Pittsburgh, to be honest, especially if Pittsburgh is firing off all cylinders. But if Pittsburgh is crap, then they'll get swept. So lots of it. Yeah, but these teams, this division, they're my favorite games to watch. I'm not gonna lie. They like, for some reason, it's like both teams just take massive amount of drugs and painkillers and then go play this game, and the NFL is like, yeah, let's have that. They're so brutal, man. Like, I know that's not happening, but it's like, dude, they just go ham on each other. And with this year, I think with Joe Burrow not being as hurt and having like basically all off season to relax, and he really didn't do much in OTAs. I think, and with this line, I think I think they have a lot. They brought back Von Bell, which is going to be a very valuable asset. I don't know about this 9. I think they're going to do pretty good. Rasta says if healthy, 13. I'm not. See, there you go. I'm not even. I'm not even the only. Sorry. Let's do that again. So we got 9, 9.5, my 12. Oops. And then Rasta's 13. That brings it up to 10.5. That brings it up to 10.5. I could go 11 because it's actually 10.8. But is Joe Burrow 100%? Yeah, but yes, I think so. I mean, a lot better than last year, that's for sure. I mean, did you see how good he did? Even hurt last year, I was surprised. I was surprised how well he did. So I agree. AFC North is one of the top. Yeah, and it is. It really is. So we'll go. We'll go. I want to say 11. Then I say 10 and a half. I want to say 10 and a half still. I'll leave it at 10 and a half. But I think 12 and 13 is mine. So that's between myself and Rasta. Again, guys, if you guys are watching, if you want to add your records in and then see what we do towards the end of the season with our predictions and our main playoff predictions, which we do towards every year at the end. So right now we're going to type in, because average out, it comes to 10 and 10. I could round up to 11. So let's put it at 10 half. Where's my sheet? There we go. Let's go 10 and a half. Still pretty good. I still wouldn't mind the 11. And the Bengals, I still have not created. So that's the one division I got to make. That's the division. So we'll leave it right here. That's the Bengals right there. Let me put that in right here before I forget. Oops. All right. Bengals at 10 and a half, guys. And we'll leave that there. All right, guys. I'm having a second episode today. I'm probably about 3 hours from now. So, but that is that we're leaving at 10 and a half, right? So, yep. 10 and a half sounds good. Okay. I'm smashing the over. I am too. I'm going to smash it over the 10 and a half as well. Because I think they could probably get themselves 11 as well. I think they can. But again, these guys brought in their freaking 9s and 9.5s, which kind of blowers our freaking. Yeah. It's a community-based average. Tua's 9 hurts it. That's what it does. Our 12s and 13s, but his 9 kills it to 10 and a half. So we'll leave it there. All right, guys. That is the freaking Bengals, Cincinnati Bengals. Overall, what do I got to say? I have high hopes for you guys. I really do. This year, I think you guys are going to make it. I really think you guys are going to make it this year. I see it's other teams in this division that are going to be the problem. And I think you could sweep through most of this freaking NFL teams, anybody that flings your way, but it's It's the Ravens, the Browns, and the Steelers. I don't know what it is with your guys' games, but they're just so fun to watch. You guys just kill each other out there, and it's good entertainment. It really is. As for Cincinnati Bengals fans, I hope the best things go for you. So Tua comes in. Chase Brown is getting a smash of 1,000 yards. Interesting take. The actual line is negative 134 at 10. See, there you go. See? There you go. I also like 10 and like above 10. Like I'm telling you, I think they're gonna get 12. I think they're gonna get 12. 12 Tua, you ruined it. You ruined it. Oh my gosh. And Derpy comes in at 9. I hate you guys. Chat, I hate you guys. We got 2 9s. Rasta, they are killing us right now. I got 2 9s now. We got two 9s, 1 9.5, my 12, and Rasta's 13. You guys are killing me right now. That's 5 of us, right? Brings it back down to 10.5. It's still 10.5. It just went down 0.3. It was 10.8, but it's still 10.5. It's still 10.5. All right, we'll leave it there. 10.5. There it is. Bengals. I think they're going to do better than that. But, hey, chat has spoken with their measly 9s, but we'll see. You better give a biased, unbiased there. When we get to your Dolphins, you better not give me this bonkers crap of 17-0. I'm not listening to that. If we get to your Dolphins episode, we're not doing that. Nah. Okay, nah, yeah. Taking the over. So then if you're saying 10, you're taking over 10. Anthony, you're telling me you're taking the over on 10.5, yet you gave me a 9.5. How does that work? You can't tell me you're giving them a 9.5 and then telling you're taking over 10.5. How does that work? Yeah, I'm also wondering that too. I say 10, but it's close. Anthony, I hope you stub your toe. Today. I hope you stub your toe today. Welcome to gambling. Well, I hope you stub your toe because you're messing up our numbers. They can't. All right, I'm not reading that. That one's get out of here too. All right, guys. I'll see you in about 2.5 to 3-ish hours. We're gonna cover the Rams also today. Maybe one of the guys are actually watching. They jump in today. I don't know. You would think Brian would come in here and give me his freaking records, and he hasn't done it once. Come on, guy. All right, anyways, that's the Cincinnati Bengals here on Dynasty Pylon. We'll catch you later as we talk about the Rams. Again, no more than 3 hours from now. Probably in like 2.5, but we'll see. But that's it for me. We'll talk to you later. Again, good morning, good evening, good night, wherever the hell you're at, wherever you're watching or listening to this. Take care. But this is Cincinnati Bengals Dynasty Pylon. And see you later. Thanks for watching.
Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm winning till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up in the place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. When I watch me elevate.